My grandfather was actually a minister. So, and I come from a small town, so all of my family basically descended on this one church where my grandfather was involved. I had a very normal childhood. There were instances where I knew that something was different in regards to like the TV shows where I was more looking at the boys than the girls. And I was very involved in the church growing up. I was involved in Sunday school, youth group, etc. And that's where I met my wife. And I thought that if I was involved in the church, that some of these feelings would kind of go away, or I could work through them. I ended up marrying one of the girls that I grew up with, and I was making progressive, but the feelings were still there, so I was making progressive steps trying to weed out these feelings, I guess. Even to the point where I ended up having a son. What I found myself doing was putting myself in situations where I could discredit, whether it was, you know, flirting with some guy, but oh, I thought he was just talking to me or whatever like that. Later in the marriage, I was progressively closeted and less happy with myself, and to the point where, you know, I was actually trying to figure out what the easiest way to avoid public embarrassment would be, and that might be running my car off the bridge. At some point, I met a man who gave me support. I realized that if I were to take a next step, at least I would have somebody there that would be able to catch me before I fall. And I gradually started coming out more and more to my wife, and knowing that being that my entire family was very church related, that I could basically lose my entire family. One day I finally blurted it out. She was very hurt. I was very scared. And one of my biggest fears was that my son would, you know, be taken away from me. After the divorce and the judgment came down, I think she realized that my intent was not to take anything away from her. It was to be equitable, because I did have guilt, because, you know, I felt that I was using her, I guess, to a certain way, but it wasn't that I was using her. I was trying to fix myself. But now the relationship is very good. We're best friends. My son has grown up with my partner for 10 years. So my son is in high school, and I know that some of the parents suspect that I may be gay. I know that I'm not forthright with them because I'm afraid that my lifestyle may affect him, and that he would be the subject of bullying. So, you know, I think that there's different social degrees and social reasons why people will be closeted, even if it's not just workload or family. There's also the extended family and me trying to protect my son. If I had grown up knowing that it was all right to be gay, I would not have tried to take steps to fix myself. I would not have gotten somebody else involved in my my self-therapy. I wouldn't have got married. I love my wife, but not romantically. It was more of a best friend situation, which we have now. But if I grew up knowing that it was all right for me to not be in sin and trying to make these steps and hide from my family, I think that I would be a happier person. I basically came out when I was 35 years old. And like I said, to the point that I was thinking about committing suicide. Years ago, I actually decided that this is my true self, and I think that it's important for youth not to be ashamed of who they are. I know that I'm a different person than I was before. People that I'm out to, I'm more open, I'm freer, I'm happier. People that I'm not out to at work. I'm more closeted, I'm more reserved, I'm serious. The one thing that my grandmother told me, you know, and she's the sweetest person in the world, she's my role model, is before I came out, she said, you just didn't seem like a happy person. You seem much more relieved, happier, and I think that it's important that nobody has that burden.